Welcome to the Rally Reds podcast. I'm your host, Cash Chandler, alongside my co-hosts, Riley Sewell and Jackson Gunnell. We got a lot of baseball to talk about today. The Reds are on fire right now. Unfortunately, just lost to the Guardians, but we don't even care about that right now. Reds have been scorching the baseball, hot bats. Everything's looking great right now. But we got more right after this.
Reds strike again. The comeback kids do it again. Left center. Reds win.
That's right, everybody. The Reds are back. Everybody's swinging the bat. Everybody looks great right now. I'm happy as can be. Reds won 7 in a row, just lost 2, but we don't really care right now. I'll take 7 in a row. Beating up on the Cubs again in a 4-game series, and then beating up on the Rockies, completely demolishing them, just sucking the life out of them. Literally gave them no hope. But yeah, it was an awesome week of baseball. But we got a lot to talk about today.
Yeah, starting off with the Rockies series, game one of the Rockies series. Reds won 13-3 in that game. Andrew Abbott with a great game. Reds bats. That's the first game they really caught on fire. Was Monday in Colorado. Riley said that he expected the Reds bats to catch on fire, and they did. Um, Friedel with 2 hits, his first multi-hit game, just coming back from the IL. Steer with 3 hits, Candelario 2 hits, India with 3, Benson with 2. Reds got 18 hits. Everybody that played in the game got at least 1 hit. Only 3 strikeouts the whole game. Andrew Abbott was on point. Brent Suter and Justin Wilson out of the bullpen shut the door down. 13-3 Reds win. Game two, Reds beat the Rockies once again in a little bit of a closer game, but Frankie Montas went 7 innings, giving up only 1 hit. Great game for Montas in that game. Ellie got his first home run in a very long time, got out of his mini slump, got to the Rockies starter in Ty Black, gave up 4 runs, 10 hits, only 2 strikeouts. The Reds only struck out 4 times in game two and 3 in game one. 7 strikeouts in 2 games is tremendous. Only person in the lineup who did not get a hit that game was Blake Dunn. He's off a little bit of a slow start so far, but that's exactly a little bit expected from a guy who uh, is a rookie coming up for the MLB for the first time. Game three against the Rockies, Reds were down 7-6 going into the last inning, and then Jonathan India ended up hitting a grand slam to break the door wide open. Reds were actually down at one point 7-4. They scored 8 runs in the last 2 innings of the game. Ellie with another 3-hit game. Candelario, Friedel, India, Steer all hit home runs. Actually, yeah, it was Steer grand slam, not India. Oh no, it was India. My bad.
Steer hit
I keep
that.
getting
Yeah,
confused.
Steer took the lead with that homer though. That was still awesome.
Yeah, Steer throughout the lead. India with the grand slam. My bad. Uh, a lot of hits that game. Um, Graham Ashcraft, that's his last game. We'll see of him for a little bit. Gave up 4 runs in that game, all earned, 6 hits, hit a batter, 3 and 2/3 innings. ERA up to 5. Got sent down after that game the day after. Talk more about that later. And then here comes the Cubs series. Game one of the Cubs series. Reds went 8-4. Hunter Green, 6 and 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, both earned, 2 walks, 8 Ks. Gave up 2 home runs, but the big thing in that game is he threw 111 pitches, the most pitches he's thrown in the game in his career. I was very surprised to let him go that long, but it worked out in the long run. Cruz, Mullen, Diaz at the end cut it down. Diaz got a little bit of a scare at the beginning with a walk, but got 3 Ks in the ninth to secure the game. Ellie with another home run uh, into the right field stands. Jam packed like everybody in Cincinnati was there, it seemed like. And then going into the second game, even more people from Cincinnati were there. No empty seats. Friday night game. Reds won that game 3-2. Nicoladolo, 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 walks, 1 run that was earned. ERA down to 2.92 after that game. Very good game all around. The Reds, Alexis Diaz, I thought was going to blow it at the end. Cash was at that game. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yep.
And I thought he was going to blow that game at the end. but ended up getting the save. All that matters is the saves. Doesn't matter how you do it, how many runs you give up, as long as you do not blow that save in that big spot. Not much offense in this game, but Lodolo powered through and ended up winning that game for the Reds. Game 3 of the series, my computer wouldn't slow down. My phone's so slow. You go ahead and fill in for Game 3 of the series if you have
Yeah,
that.
game 3, Candelario had a big day. I like to see him. He started off the game great, and then Abbott pitched in that game. He was really good. And then Jeff Wilson came in and got the save. He came in for Lucas Sims later in the game. That was oof. That was one that you'd sit on the edge of your seat for. That yeah, but it was awesome. Jeff Wilson got his first save in a long time, and that guy, if you look at his history, he's been through a lot of ups and downs, few injuries, and it was really good to see him. He was really fired up too after getting that save. I like to see that. That was probably my favorite part of that game.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
final game of the series, my computer finally went back. I was about to, I was pretty much going to say the same thing as Cash said in that game. Justin Wilson clutched up at the end. I have gone out and said I did not like Justin Wilson. I think Alex Young is better than Justin Wilson out of the bullpen for the Reds, but Justin Wilson's last few games has been better. Not great, but better. He got a save in a big spot. Reds lost 4-2 Sunday, but it was a close game. Uh, Frankie Montas, after his no hitter, gave up 4 runs and one in the third innings, 5 hits, 3 walks. Seems like every time Montas takes a step forward, he goes straight back down the next start, which is very disappointing. But hopefully his next start can be another one of those good ones, because that's what it's been all year. Um, Not many hits. Espinal with a home run against Shota Imanaga. If you give up, so if you give up a lot of runs to the Cubs when Imanaga's pitching, it's not a good story because he has an ERA below 2 this year, and the Cubs bullpen after him both had ERAs below 3.21. So the back end of the Cubs bullpen is difficult to get hits against, and Imanaga is even better. He's one of the best pitchers, top of the Cy Young voting right now. But going 6-1 in that span, we said that we wanted to see a sweep against the Rockies. We got that. Said we needed to win series against the NL Central, our foes. We got that. So that was a very big step forward. Now we just have to at least get us. We have to get a split with the Guardians tomorrow.
Yeah, a game that I really want to highlight is it was game 2 of that Rockies series. Obviously, as Jack said, Frankie Montas just came out of the gate dealing. I had a no hitter for a while until the ESPN notifications started rolling out. You know how that is. Um, but I wanted to read this stat. So Frankie Montas is the first visiting pitcher in Coors Field to throw at least 7 shutout innings with no more than 1 hit and 9 or more Ks. Frankie Montas, really, I give him his credit there. That man was dealing. And then that game also was the debut of Blake Dunn. We've seen this guy in the minor league system. He's a pretty fun player to watch. Steals a lot of bags. He can hit the ball. Um, he had I was at the game, Cubs game 2 that Friday night when Blake Dunn had his first hit, that double. Everybody got up, gave him a standing ovation. It was pretty cool to see. But the highlight of that game was Alexis Diaz. Well, one of my favorite points of that game was Alexis Diaz being able to turn it around in the end. And let me tell you, that crowd pop when he got that final strikeout. Oh my God. Everybody in there was just a sigh of relief. And hopefully the sigh of relief stopped, and it's just, kind of expected. Um, but Nick Lodolo had an amazing outing, and after that game, the Reds won 6 in a row. Lots more action after that, but yeah, that's pretty much what I got from this week.
Jumping back to that Rockies series, I mean, the offense was explosive, just like I predicted. We outscored the Rockies 29-11 in their own home ballpark. The starting pitching was great. Abbott threw 6 complete, only gave up 3 in the most hitter-friendly ballpark in the MLB. Montes threw a gem in game 2, like we already discussed, striking out 9, cruising through 7. Game 3 kind of went off the rails pitching-wise. Ashcraft obviously did not do very well. He gave up 4 through 3 2/3, but we still ended up winning the game. And then as for the Cubs series, it was hard fought between both sides throughout the whole series. We squeaked out a 1-run win in games 2 and 3, and then in game 1 we scored 8, and we were led by the trio of Ellie, Will Benson, and Jonathan India. And then for game four, there's nothing we can really do about that. Shota Eminaga, Cy Young, candidate. He's a front runner for that. He's gonna win Rookie of the Year for the NL. I mean, he's just dominant. But we picked up the series, and the Reds are on a roll offensive wise. Nothing you can be happier about for the Reds.
Yeah, who doesn't love to just beat up on the Cubbies? Nobody likes the Cubs. I mean, I yeah, nobody likes the Cubs if you're in Reds country. Um, as we mentioned his name a few times. When you look at Graham Ashcraft, his recent starts, he's really just been struggling, and it's kind of weird to see because last year, towards the end of the year, obviously Hunter Green had missed some time, and that's I feel like when Graham Ashcraft really came out and proved like he can be really dominant. In the end of the year, he was like I'm gonna give it to him. He's our best starter at the end of the year. He really took a big step forward, and yeah, it's just odd to see him now. He just got sent down to Louisville. Reds just want him to work on some things, get back in the groove. But he's definitely going to be spending some time down there for a while. The thing I've noticed that at least the announcers talk about a lot, especially Cowboy, he's trying to throw a two seam fastball a lot, and when he comes like he tries to get it inside a lot, and it's not working, and that's a pitch that he really likes to throw. We saw him throw it last year, but this year he's just having trouble painting it up. But Jack, you got us some insight on Ashcraft.
Yeah, I'm going back to last year. He's a very streaky pitcher. He's been a streaky pitcher since he went down to the minors. Last year, first five starts, 30 innings pitched, 2.1 ERA, only got 20 hits in those 30 innings pitched. That's a huge stat. May, in his next six starts, had a 9.21 ERA, 28 in the third innings pitched, 43 hits. His walks are still at nine. He is not usually a walk on a guy. We'll get to that later. In June, he had four starts, a 10.38 ERA in June, 25 hits in 17 innings. July, he turned it around dramatically. Got put on the IL in the end of June. July, 184 ERA. Did not have a start where he gave up gave up three or more runs in all of May, or all of July, my bad. August and September, they were good months. He got hurt at the end of September with a broken toe. Um, all of September he was out except September 1st. But he was out pretty much the last month of the year. Now going into this year, he was penciled in as the Reds' number five starter, behind obviously the other four starters they had. Um, Started off the year okay, gave up five runs in the second start against the Brewers, but he went longer into games. He went at least six innings and pretty much all of his first six games. After that, he had three runs against the Diamondbacks two times in a row and against the Dodgers. And then he started to fall off. The main thing is hits. I'm trying to get to the hits. When he gives up a lot of hits, it's a big problem. When he can limit the hits and limit the hard contact, that's when he's a really good pitcher. Same thing with a lot of these guys, obviously, but for Graham Ashcraft specifically, because he's very streaky. And when you're on that streak of being really good, it can really help you get confidence. And when he has low confidence, I feel like that's when he leaves the ball over the plate because he wants to just get a strike over the plate. But I think he'll be fine. I just think he needs to go down there, clear his head a little bit from whatever's going on. Um, his walks this year have been fine 21 walks and 62 innings pitched, but 70 hits is a lot of hits to give up, especially when they're hard contact. Nine home runs given up. He up 23 last year. That is a lot of home runs. He's playing in Great American Ballpark, but still, that's still a lot of home runs to give up. But I think he should be able to come back, but with Carson Spires pitching as well as he did Sunday, you're going to talk about him at all. After Montas, Spires came in, pitched like 5 2/3 innings, great baseball, no runs given up, couple hits, couple walks. I think he could be our new starter for the next couple months if he can prove to be a stabling force in the rotation.
Definitely a career day for him. But before Riley goes ahead and gives us input, I want to say this about Ashcraft. So this year, as of right now, he's ranked sixth in the NL in hit by pitches. He's hit six batters this year. Last year, he was top five in the NL in hit batters. He hit 10 batters last year. So bringing up what I said last time about I was trying to throw that two seamer inside, and I think that's really his biggest problem is trying to paint the inside because his two seamer likes to trail away at batters and he's allowing base runners, which does not help his earned run average. But yeah, go ahead, Riley.
I mean, to be honest, Ashcraft's last good start was May 1st in San Diego. He threw 6 complete. He only gave up 2 runs, and since then his ERA has been raised to over a point. Currently, it's sitting at just above a 5 ERA right now, which is terrible. You're not going to get a roster spot anywhere with an ERA like that. Um, it's just been a rough year to say the least. I really hope he can figure it out as a Reds fan and just a baseball fan in general.
Yep, it's definitely tough to see. Um, Hopefully that he can pull it through. You know, he's a great piece, especially if he's going to be the five guy in the rotation. That's insane for Graham Ashcraft to be your fifth starter because he can be a quality starter and get you a lot of innings. He just got to turn it around. Louisville's got some great staff down there, and hopefully they'll get him right. But yeah, now it's time for Riley to run the show here for a minute. Turning back time. Let's see, Riley, what was going on in Reds history on this week.
Well, on this week in Reds history, we all witnessed the greatest single game performance by a Cincinnati Reds player ever. On June 6, 2017, Scooter Gennett would have the game of a lifetime. He'd go 5 for 5 with 4 home runs, a single, and 10 RBIs. He started off the night with a bloop single to left field, scoring 1. His next at bat, he had a grand slam to deep right field. After that, he had a 2-run home run to dead center. And then after that, a solo shot that hooked just around the left field foul pole. And in his final at bat of the night, he had a line drive that just cleared the right field wall for his 4th and final home run of the night. He was the 17th in MLB history to hit 4 home runs in a game, and he remains the only Red to ever do so.
Yeah, Scooter Gennett, man, that guy's wow. Yeah, he Scooter Gennett. Yeah, Riley got the Scooter Gennett repping it out here. But Scooter Gennett actually came to our hometown, and yeah, I'm pretty sure he grew up in this town, if I'm right.
Played
I don't.
Little League
Yeah,
Baseball in Lebanon, yeah.
yeah. He came in a couple years ago and stopped by. They had a pretty big thing going on down at our local card shop for him, but yeah, it was pretty cool. Scooter Gennett, never forget that game. Definitely gonna go down as a top moment in Reds history for sure, especially in recent times. But now, on a more serious manner, so recently in the MLB, I figure that we just go ahead and share our thoughts on this topic since it's been trending a little bit. But I hope I say his name right. Tucapita Marcano.
Yep.
Oh, there we go. First try. Tucapita Marcano was banned for life from Major League Baseball for betting on his own team. And I'll just say it now, the funniest thing about this was that I saw something where it said that he got like 4% of his bets right. His 4% of his bets hit. No offense to him, but all I'm gonna say is if you're gonna bet on your team, you'd figure that you'd bet on the stuff that you know is gonna happen. I mean, come on. But I think this is definitely an interesting topic. But before I pass it on to these guys, I'll just say I think it's kind of unfair in a sense that you're gonna go ahead and ban a guy for life for gambling, but then there's guys who I'll say Wander Franco. There hasn't been a ban letter sent out to him telling him that he can't come back, and we know what he was doing. He's doing some funky stuff. um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think it's unfair that gambling is a lifetime ban, but then there's all these other guys doing these crazier things that they're not going to get banned for. I don't really get it, but my advice to that dude is bet on the stuff you know if you're going to do that. At least try.
Yeah. I don't really have a ton of stuff to say about this. I just think that I think that you should be able to bet on. I, I don't know. It's a tough topic for professional players to be able to bet. I think that they should make it so like they can bet on certain things. Maybe I don't know. I just feel like it's sometimes just a little bit like they put all these gambling things in the stadium, or to like not gambling, but to bet. Like
Yeah.
at the Red Stadium, they have like all these bet things,
Pete
like
Rose
where they
Center.
can like bet up. Yeah, and like then they ban people for betting when the MLB is wanting them to bet. It's just you shouldn't do it, but I understand why people do it to an extent. It says they also saw 4 other players. They
Oh
banned them
yeah.
for life. One pitcher being the ace pitcher Michael Kelly, who bet on himself while he was in the minor leagues. Also, minor leaguers Jay Groom for the Padres organization, Jose Rodriguez, and Andrew Southfrank of Arizona were banned 1 year for betting on major league games while they were on. Well, they only banned. Yeah, that's why I understand. They were banned 1 year for betting on games, when this guy's banned for life for betting on games. And there's also a guy in the NBA named Deontay Porter who played for the Raptors
Yep.
who got a lifetime ban. Just a lot of ban. There wasn't really much going on until recently, and now all these things are coming out. It's become legal in a lot of states to be able to bet on games now, which could play a huge part into why these things are happening
Hmm.
for these pro players. But Riley, what are your thoughts?
I mean, if you're gonna bet on baseball, at least hire a translator first. I mean, I've worked with Otani, but anyway, um, I mean, you know the repercussions as a baseball player if you were to bet on baseball. I mean, everybody knows what happened with Pete Rose. You just gotta be smarter with that. And then again, even if you are gonna bet on baseball and bet on yourself, do better. Just have a winning percentage above 5%, please. Like that's terrible.
I mean, yeah, you got the script in your back pocket and you can't even hit a parlay. I mean, come on, man. That's embarrassing. But yeah, especially in the NFL too. You've seen there's a climb on guys betting on games and stuff. So it's kind of weird, but we'll see how it goes. I'm sure that there's going to be one more bigger case. I'm surprised, like you said about Shohei. I'm surprised they haven't looked at that a little more, but that's for another day. But I'm sure that we're going to see a lot more of this type of stuff, and the MLB is going to try to look into it a little more. Like Jack said, with states allowing people to bet on games, I feel like there's going to be a big uphill on players getting a little curious and starting to bet a lot. So I didn't know you could bet on minor league games too. Is that what you said, Jack? That he was betting on?
Yeah, they were betting on minor league teams and major league teams while they were in the minors. Apparently,
I didn't know you could bet on minor league teams, but that's pretty
I
crazy.
didn't either until a couple
Wow.
minutes ago.
Well, there's that. That's our little thought on that. But I'll go ahead and give you some brighter news. I'm gonna give you my hitter and pitcher of the week. Starting off with my hitter of the week, my guy Ty Steve. Tyler Stevenson. When I got to see him on Friday, he came up with that clutch hit, and overall, he's just been dominating the baseball. There's a couple of guys too, like I believe India. I had him in the conversation for a little bit. Benson in the Colorado series caught my eye, and then he just slowly cooled down a little bit.
Fraley,
Fraley, definitely, yep.
Candelario was on fire too
Candelario,
for a little
everybody
bit.
was on fire this weekend, but
Yeah,
I
pretty much
decided,
anybody in the lineup
yeah,
you could choose.
Tyler Stevenson. He had 2 RBIs. He went 8 for 21, 2 doubles, a homer, 4 RBIs. Sorry, excuse me, 4 RBIs. Or no, sorry, I'm reading the pitcher. 2 RBIs. Stevenson had 2 RBIs, guys. 2 RBIs. Let me make that clear. Um, but yeah, it was tough. There's a lot of guys on fire right now, but I'm gonna go ahead and give it to Tyler Stevenson. He had a great play in the Cubs series too. Saved the game pretty much. Sliding catch behind home
Yeah,
plate.
I'd give it to him too.
Mm,
Uh, he pretty much did everything he needed him to do. Played good defense as well. The only person that I could really see competing is Candelario, just because he had 2 home runs and a double, and he had 4 RBIs. But Stevenson was definitely the most valuable guy because if Stevenson hits, that just makes the whole lineup click, and that was a huge hit Friday night.
oh yeah, that definitely got the place roaring. Pitcher of the week. I'm gonna give it to Nick Lodolo here. Frankie Montas.
2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, 2 weeks in a row. Nick Lodolo. Look at that. Lodolo this week went 2-0 with a 2.25 ERA and 12 innings pitched. This is pretty big stat. He gave 11 hits, 10 strikeouts, and 3 walks. Frankie Montas was dealing in that Colorado series, but I can't really give him as the overall pitcher of the week after that start against the Cubs.
Yeah, just be meh. Just be like okay.
Yeah,
Give up like 4 runs
he
in five
he had
innings.
it
You
in
can
the
definitely
bag.
get it, but
He had it in the
yeah,
bag, and then you know how their arm is
sold
after
the
a no
bag.
hitter. Yeah, he sold. But yeah, Frankie Montas did say though in his post game interview he knows what to do. He's gonna get right back on track, and hopefully that's the truth because when he's going, everybody's going. But Nick Lodolo, gotta give it to him. Dude's on fire. Um, but yeah, hopefully we get to see some more quality starts out of these pitchers. Hopefully everybody turns around and like Jack said, we at least split with the Guardians. Yeah, it's going to be fun month of baseball. We got the whole summer coming up, full of more Reds baseball. So, yeah, Noah V. Marte's coming back soon. He just started his rehab assignment today, I believe. So,
Yeah.
that's going to be nice. Going to be helpful in the lineup. Hopefully, he can get things going quick. But
I have a question for you guys. Who do you think the Reds All-Star should be this year?
oh yeah,
Ellie?
you asked me that not too long ago too. So I'll go ahead and say this. So me and Jack talk about this a little bit too. Pitching wise, I think Fernando Cruz, if he stays hot, definitely deserves an All-Star spot. That dude, he leads Major League Baseball in relievers and strikeouts and strikeouts per nine. His strikeouts per nine was like something. It was like 18. It was something ridiculous.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was insane. But he's got
Yeah, it's 16.3.
yeah, it's ridiculous. That splitter is, like he said, God's gift to him. But yeah, he's definitely a pitcher that deserves it. But hitting wise, when it comes to the fan polls, I'm not too big on the fan polls. But I think that Ellie would get it if it was anybody, just because how popular he is amongst everybody. But we'll see how that is when it's mid-July. Ellie could be a totally different ball player by then. So, but that's just what I think.
For me, I'd have to go. No bias here at all, but Jonathan India. I think he should start in the All-Star game too.
I bet I know what your fan ballot looks like. Probably all Gators, Gators, Gators.
Well, that.
He's the biggest Florida fan I've ever seen.
But I also want to say, can we all vote for Martin Maldonado? The guy deserves.
Oh yeah, there's a movement going on right now for that.
I've made so many brackets with just Martin Maldonado on it.
Yeah, there's a big movement on social media for that right now. I'm gonna have to put the link in the subscription and tell you guys to vote for him because we need to get him in the All-Star game. That'd be
080 batting average. That is All-Star caliber.
All-Star caliber right
One
there.
home run.
One homer. That's all that matters.
That's the big thing.
That's all that matters. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, Riley is definitely the biggest Gators fan we know. That Gators and Clemson game was pretty ridiculous. I was watching that while I was eating up on the TV, and I was like, "What is going on?" There was a lot going on in that game, but
yes, that's a routine play.
One of the best catches ever.
Yeah.
Listen. That's a routine play by any MLB center. The guy just misread the ball, and he had to make some lucky, crazy catch. I mean, the ball doesn't lie because the Gators still ended up winning the game. But I mean,
he didn't even catch it in his glove. It caught it.
Yeah, that was the whole thing. It was crazy. And Jack's a Kentucky fan. I saw Kentucky baseball's heating up right now too. But
yeah, they're in the
World at least they have baseball because basketball's not good anymore.
We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see. College baseball is exciting right now. So are the Reds. That's all I've got today. It's been an exciting week for the Reds. Hopefully it continues. That's all I've got. I'm your host, Cash Chandler, alongside my co-hosts, Riley Sewell and Jackson Gunnell. This is the Rally Reds podcast. Signing off. Good night.